Hey, folks, welcome to the Political Nooner with Blake McKenzie and myself here on Ghost Town Politics. Big day, big day. Tulsi Gabbard, more revelations coming with the corrupt Obama regime. This guy's in a hell of a lot of trouble. Tulsi Gabbard laying it out. We'll play the clip and then we'll turn to Blake. And folks, good news on this program. Once a week, we're going to stay longer than an hour. If the news demands it, we're going to be here for it. So we're going to be here a little longer than we are normally. Normally it's just an hour, but every day from now on, we're here Monday to Friday, 12 noon.
Yeah, Wednesday at 3, no longer.
No longer. We're 12 noon across the board. What's that? Light? More light disease.
Yeah, you look great.
I'm just set up. Well, I don't know. I look good in gray.
You look great.
What do you guys like?
Oh, God.
Okay, never mind. We'll be lit. Okay, I'm lit, man. Here we go. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, you darling. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Barack Obama's national security team directed the creation of an intel community assessment they knowingly knew was false. Play that tape, Scusi.
At President Trump's direction and with the support and coordination with the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified oversight majority staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration. We're here today because the American people deserve the truth, they deserve accountability, and they deserve justice.
Wow.
Okay, that's pretty damning. Now we're going to dig into the evidence because she's not just talking through her hat here. This is what's so fantastic about this. This is, of course, this is panic in DC right here. This is panicking. You're an absolute panicking. You're freaking out. Your boy's going to jail. No one is above the law, motherfucker. Justice is coming for you, Herc. Look up, line them up. They're going down. Blake, take it away. This is absolutely fantastic what's coming out. We've got John Brennan lying under oath. We're going to play a clip of that. The very moment where that asshole was lying under oath. Absolutely. Go ahead, Blake. Take it away.
This is the bada bing, bada boom. This is the big enchilada.
It's lowering the hammer. Go ahead.
It is. And I think it's still at the beginning stages as all of the rats will start to leave the sinking ship. And I think they've been shaking the trees underneath, getting them all to talk. I'm sure that's part of this because they're all going to point to who the boss was. And I think this is a beginning. I don't think Obama was the top dog, though. I think there's still people around him that controlled him politically. Just because you're a president doesn't mean he didn't get there because he was just popular. He got there because certain people wanted him there in power. So I'm hoping that this will blow the doors wide open. And all of this evidence coming up, which I think is really interesting. I think there was a side story that kind of popped out yesterday that maybe, and I'm going to assume maybe related, but apparently, and maybe not, but we'll see. But the fact that Trump was meeting with Jeff Bezos, who was one of the big funders against him, and behind in the back rooms with the Democratic elite. So I'm hoping all these guys get exposed, but this is a big one. This is getting a general like Obama to come out and all this. I'm sure the media is going to spin it as some type of vendetta. No, this isn't vendetta. I think Tulsi Gabbard hit it right nail on the head, just like we said yesterday. It is about justice for all political strikes.
Okay, so
all
how do we
political.
tell-
Nobody should be getting away with this ever.
But how do we talk to retards like Herkmer? Okay, do this. I've got this one ordered by Obama. Okay, the link there's Catherine Herridge. These are the actual documents. Okay,
Yeah.
we got the receipts, sir. You guys are so fucked. I can't begin to tell you how you are up the hose, your nose with a rubber hose. I love this damn show. Attaboy, Final Gorilla, we love you. USA, USA, USA. Here are the receipts. Declassified records via DNI, Department of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, make the case the 2017 Intel Community Assessment was ordered by, quote, and, quote, subject to unusual directives from President Obama. None other than President Obama. A draft wasn't, quote, properly coordinated with IC intelligence community components, purposefully deviated from professional standards to ensure publication without significant challenges to its conclusion. You scroll up, and they're in the yeller. I don't know if you could do anything about that. Just go back. It's a little bit bigger. You can see it bigger with the other picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So unlike routine IC analysis, okay, intelligence community analysis, the ICA, the intelligence community agencies, was a high-profile, quote, product ordered by who? The president. Who was the president? Barack Hussein Obama Islam. Okay, Allah. By just 5 CIA analysis using one principal drafter, production of the ICA was subject to, quote, unusual directives from the president. We're dealing with some unusual directives. Who did it come from, Blake? Your mysterious man in the clouds? No, it was directed by who? The president of the United States of America at that time, Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, well, it said but this just proves what everyone's been saying for a number of years, that Obama had been operating a star chamber government behind Trump to destabilize every aspect. And I hope Hillary's thrown in there too, because she's equally responsible for this. I think she is one of the people they need to go after as well. I think the whole thing's going to blow up. I think when Brennan, his neck is on the line, he's going to squeal like a pig.
Well, people are saying who's going to be first to break? Is it going to be James Clapper or it's going to be John Brennan? Both of them former CIA chairs, both of them up to their necks in corruption, and the receipts are coming home to pay. We've got Safe and Sound. This is David out of Texas here, the great state, the Lone Star State, Texas. Speaking to reporters, White House Wednesday, DNI Tulsi Gabbard confirmed former President Barack Hussein Obama has been referred to the Department of Justice criminal investigation. We got a clip here. Let's see. Is this true? Is what this young boy is saying? Is there any truth to it? Let's see what we got. Play the clip, Scoozy.
Any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former
The
President
evidence,
Obama?
correct. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact.
Any of this new...
All right, so the charges have been referred. Pam Bondi, the ball is in your court. We just got just to lob it over into Pam Bondi's court. Blake, are you surprised that they have actually referred to the DOJ charges against Barack Hussein Obama? What do you say, Blake? What do you got for me?
Well, let's hope she actually does it. Pam Bondi, let's see. The fire is going to be on your feet to show that you're going to do exactly, take the evidence, do your work. Or is this going to be another delay, this or that? And who knows? But I'm hoping they go after it. I think Trump wants justice. I think he rightfully deserves justice. As a victim on this, he was a victim. He is not some perpetrator. He was a victim from a criminal organization that planned to overthrow his government. I think they did everything in their power to do that. So I think that's important we do that this comes out. So hopefully they'll take the evidence and actually do it. And I think Tulsi Gabbard did the right thing, publicly put it out there right off the bat. Boom, there it is. Now, you're going to have a hell of a time if there's any little rhino insiders in there. It's going to try and bury this thing somehow or get it all caught up in here.
I
don't think they can.
I don't think they can. I think if this was 2020, you're right, they could have. It's 2025. It's a whole new administration. It's a whole new ball game. I don't think Trump would have come out so strongly. Yesterday, he was in the Oval Office saying Obama's a guy, lock him out. He's tweet. We used to say tweeting. He's truthing on Truth Social. And the word is getting out. Trump wants to see justice done. They raided his house at Mar-a-Lago. They impeached him twice. Somebody had him shot. So all sorts of shit went down. Justice.
Well, if they can prove that there's a connection between him and that would be massive.
TikTok. Let's see. Okay, J.D. Vance getting in on it. J.D. Vance, the Steele dossier, quote, was used by Brennan and others to cook the intelligence assessments on the Russian collusion hoax. This really is a major scandal. And then to back this claim up by J.D. Vance, what's he talking about? Where's he coming from? I've got one here called, what's the clip? It's Brennan caught perjuring himself. So we've actually got a clip of Brennan under oath saying, who, me? I could never, me and Herc are innocent. Well, we're going to find out about that. Let's just see what the question was. Our old friend Trey Gowdy at the Mound. Here it is, the exact moment John Brennan committed perjury. The Russiagate documents Tulsi Gabbard released prove that what he is saying here is 100% a lie. Lock him the hell up. Here we go.
Did the CIA rely on it?
No.
Why not?
Because we didn't. It wasn't part of the corpus of intelligence information that we had. It was not in any way used as a basis for the intelligence community assessment that was done. It was not.
The exact moment Brennan perjured himself, because these documents show that they did exactly that, just as J.D. Vance pointed out. They cooked the intel. The initial story went out. The intel said Russia doesn't have the wherewithal or the power to do anything. They can make a noise, but they can't do anything. And in fact, the documentation comes out, as Catherine Harrod showed in her report, that it was all in on Hillary. Said, Hillary, we got stuff on. The Russians fully expected Hillary to win the election. And they said, when she wins, then we're coming in. We're going to release this. We're going to hit her hard. Well, let's take a look at
let's not forget Uranium One deal with Hillary and Russia.
Oh, my God. Hillary. Well, we've got new declassified information on Hillary. Let's go to Cat Turd, our old friend Cat Turd, top of the pops here. The first link I dropped in has got Hillary on it. And holy shit. I mean, this is party time USA. If you think Joe Biden was an absolute mental midget, an absolute, Bruce Willis had more on the ball than old Joe Biden. But take a look at this document. This is absolutely damning. Remember when Hillary couldn't stop coughing?
Yeah.
Well, we've got this is declassified, part of the DNI Gabbard's releasing of all this intel that was hidden. As of September 2016, Russian Foreign Intelligence Service SVR had Democrat National Committee DNC info that Obama and party leaders found the state of Secretary Clinton's health to be extraordinarily alarming, quote unquote, and felt it could have serious negative impact, quote unquote, on her election prospects. Her health information was kept in strictest secrecy, and even close advisors were not being fully informed. The SVR possessed DNC communications that Clinton was, quote, suffering from intensified psycho-emotional problems. Holy shit, she sounds like Herkimer. Psycho-emotional problems, including, quote, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. Wow.
What?
Clinton
Is that called menopause? Sorry, ladies.
No, ladies, for the love of God. Listen, man, Clinton was placed on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers, quote unquote, and while being afraid of losing, she remained, just like Kirk, obsessed with a thirst for power.
Yeah.
So they also had information that Clinton suffered from type 2 diabetes, ischemic heart disease, deep vein thrombosis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Holy fuck. So Clinton was an absolute physical, emotional, psychological, and mental wreck, as anybody on our side of the aisle could have told you. Blake, are you surprised by any of this thing?
No, not at all. I mean, I've never liked her from day one. I knew something was not right with her. From the 1990s, under she was the puppet master for her husband Bill. Bill was a good sales guy. She was running the show in behind the scenes. There was something dark about her. There's just something weird. The fact that she fakes accents when she goes into different areas. I mean, she's got to be Kamala. Kamala. Well, she's learning from Clinton, right? That's the point.
You're right. Yeah.
And so did AOC. She tried to pull that Southern sound, the Southern Black Baptist sound. No, she was. Something's wrong. She was a psycho. I mean,
at least the good news. There is good news. A silver lining for Hillary out of all this. At least we now know she wasn't suffering from the little-known disease known as Kuru. Have you heard of the Kuru?
No.
Kuru is what you get when you eat brains when you're a cannibal. People suggesting that she was suffering from Kuru. Now we got this is a classic. Remember this?
I remember this one, her collapsing. Yes.
Well, this was true. Footage here, old footage. Of course, Giuliani didn't roll the tape on this, but Sue's going to roll it for our collective benefit right now. Remember this? Greatest hits, Hillary. Here she is. Take care. This future president. Happy birthday to this future president.
Like, this was kind of weird. Like, whoa.
Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. Getting in there. Take your time. Don't lose a shoe, honey. Okay, there she goes. Like Cinderella a little bit.
Oh my God.
Holy smokes. But there they is. Helping old Cinderella in there.
Those feet.
But she is just gone. She is just a wet noodle. And of course, this went viral. Whoop. Yeah, somebody help her in. Here she go. Just throw her in. Get her in there. Just throw her. Get her the hell in there.
Notice the guy's blocking the view.
Yeah,
the Secret Service did a big wall so nobody could see her in that condition.
Yeah, James Farley goes, I worked with someone who was Homeland Security. The word on the street was, don't make eye contact with her. She's got that one lazy eye I've heard about. Holy smokes. Anyway, it was just crazy. She was a deplorable basket case, as it turns out. So this is amazing. Let's go and see what the Trump White House is responding. So let's go. I called this one show opener. I was going to open with this, but then we found the Tulsi clip, and I thought that was superior to open the show. But let's look at our beautiful, press secretary. She's just lovely. I love this kid. Have you seen that one, Sue? Yeah, I think I just called it show opener. Okay. Let's do this. And it makes our job easy, Blake, because we let these people explain what we're explaining, and they do such a great job. Caroline Levitt, I just love this kid. Such an upgrade over that piece of work they had before. Holy shit. Press Secretary Caroline Levitt just exposed Bama for knowing the truth of Russia hoax. Gabbard confirms what we already knew. There was no collusion, no corruption, except on behalf of the former President Barack Hussein Obama. Mic drop, boom, let's play the clip. Let's roll the tape. Here we
the
go.
oath of office. The truth is that President Trump never had anything to do with Russia, and the Russia collusion hoax was a massive fraud perpetuated on the American people from the very beginning. And the worst part of this is Obama knew that truth, and so did all of the other corrupt officials involved in this scam, including former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former FBI Director James Comey, former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and many others. Director of National Intelligence Gabbard's report further confirms what we already knew. There was no collusion, no corruption, except on the part of Barack Obama and the weaponized intelligence agencies at the time. The Russia hoax was a blatant lie, all ginned up by Democrat political operatives that were signed off on by then President Obama and leaked to the news media to launch a years-long witch hunt against President Trump and his first administration. Allies of the president, including his own son, Donald Trump Jr., were disgustingly smeared as Russian assets, and some even had their lives destroyed because of this vicious lie. The president's first 2 years in office had this fake distraction hanging over it, and endless resources, time, and political capital were spent having to debunk these lies from the highest levels of our government. Now, nearly 10 years later, thanks to the declassification of documents by Director Gabbard, the truth has finally come to light. And this truth vindicates President Trump, his family, and his many allies and associates who were smeared with defamatory lies. President Trump was right from the beginning about all of this, and we are grateful that justice can be served. Now, we have even more damning evidence implicating those who tried to sabotage a duly elected president.
Okay, so absolutely wonderful news. The White House responding, Tulsi Gabbard coming out. We have the receipts. Catherine Herridge reporting. You know, this is coming in on multiple fronts. There are white hats, we call them white hats, that are releasing this. This is all time. This is all known about. And I know we still have people going, Epstein. The big lie from it's amazing. Trump got ahead of this. He says, why are you people all talking about Epstein? Because Trump knew this was about to break. And he knew that the left was going to use the Epstein as a big, don't look here at Obama treason. Look over here at the Epstein case. Now, speaking of Epstein,
and he is going after the Epstein. They have put a special prosecutor out, so they are covering that now.
I know, but hang on, we got an Obama judge on the case right now. Let's go to the Obama judge too. It's called the third one from the bottom. Obama judge. We got an Obama judge. As a matter of fact, I think MJ Truth Ultra might also be talking about that himself with the clip, but. This is quite interesting. Yeah, I think it was MJ Truth Ultra did even a better job on this than this one here. But suffice to say, breaking, a federal judge has denied the Department of Justice's attempt to unseal grand jury records related to Jeffrey Epstein. So a judge now is denying the DOJ. Remember, Trump said, go unseal it all, get it out. Apparently, it's a technicality. But go to this last one here that I put, MJ Truth Ultra, the very last one. I forgot to qualify it. And he goes more explaining who the judge is, what's going on with it. And but this is very interesting. And there was a great comment on this, Blake. The Dems wanted the declass, and right up until they declassified it. Now they don't want it. So who is this judge? Breaking, Obama appointed federal judge. Obama. Robin L. Rosenberg, FLA, Florida, has denied a request from the Trump administration to unseal the Epstein grand jury transcripts in Florida. Judge Rosenberg stated that the court's hands are tied because the government's request did not meet the narrow circumstances under which grand jury testimony can be unsealed. She ordered a new case ordered in the public interest to provide access to the government's request and the denial order while closing the original case tied to the Florida investigation. So it's back to the drawing board we go. They've got to reformulate it and then throw it back. And hopefully an Obama-appointed judge won't stop that. So we can get to the bottom also of the Epstein thing and talk about your yellow journalism. CNN showing this clip of Jeffrey Epstein floating around at Trump's 1999 wedding. And, he's floating around in the background. They show a Victoria's Secret get together in like 1994 or some bloody thing. And but they don't have them on, get them on the island, motherfuckers, or you got nothing. And
I don't even know if that
you
photo
got
has
nothing.
been
Go ahead.
doctored. I think that photo may have been doctored. I don't know if it's been verified as
All right.
legit yet. Because you look at that picture that they put Epstein in the background, it looks the same age as he did 20 some odd years later, unless he's looked that way his entire life. So I would question that one.
Okay, and I'm fair enough. But I mean, here's the thing. The reality about Jeffrey Epstein is that he was a big player in New York. A lot of people knew him. And there's pictures of the Clintons with him. There's pictures of Trump with him. There's pictures of celebrities with him. Mark Carney's, which Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah,
and that's been verified. So there's a whole bunch of, he was a player in New York. But
the billionaire class is not a huge class at that time either. I mean, there are more billionaires now because of tech stocks and stuff. But back then, it was a small group. You all knew each other.
Okay, so we've got the big story. Also just throw this in because you wanted to play a little bit of this is Tulsi's big speech. We'll play just a little bit for the flavor because you said, oh, that's really good what she's saying here. Mm-hmm. And it's like an 8-minute long speech or a 10-minute long, and I don't want to play it all.
Isn't it kind of a repeat of what?
No, because what I played there is different than what this is. It's a different segment of it. And you said, oh, play this because it's not included in the clip that we just played. So this is called the Tulsi Big speech. And also for this one, Sue, if you could be so kind as to drop the link, because we aren't going to play it in its entirety, but every American owes it to themselves to listen to this speech in its entirety because she lays it all out in no uncertainty. So we'll just play it and then I'll interject, say, cut it here. Kind of like
I'm going to go over the key findings from the House Intelligence Report, which investigated the claims that were made by an intelligence community assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency. In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory. The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts, like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department. They also had documents that showed the patronage of the State Department to State Department employees who would go and support Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers.
Okay, so Sue's got the whole thing for you there, but it goes through, it counters Herc's lie. The left continues to lie. They continue to run interference against the truth getting out. And the truth was Putin didn't favor Trump at all. In fact, Putin, their own intel, this was an intel report that was generated by Obama himself. It wasn't by Trump. It was fucking Barack Hussein Obama himself who did it. Like thoughts.
Well, it's true. I mean, this is something that a number of people have been saying since 2016, the whole Russia collusion hoax was a hoax to deflect the fact that there was a collusion. It was with Hillary and the Clinton and then later Obama administration from prior before. So I think this whole situation, we just have to look at, there's another side to this, which I think may be impacting the negotiations with Canada, is because Uranium One was a deal made by a Canadian uranium company working with Russia and Hillary. It was an all inside deal. And we watched 10 years of the Liberal Party of Canada work in lockstep with the Democratic Party apparatus to attack Trump. So Canada is part of this as a staging ground for these kind of work that was being done, because they didn't have to do it inside the US. They would do it in Canada to get around rules, right? Like the Logan Act. And I'm gonna wonder how many of these guys should be facing not just treason for a soft coup. I think somebody mentioned it there earlier in the chat. But really, there's contraventions to the Logan Act all over this. So, I mean, they're going to find as this digs deeper, and maybe this is why Trump's playing hardball even harder now with Putin, because where he's saying, like, okay, well, let's have at her. Like, you got 50 days to do this. He's read all the crap in the back. He's seen the actual real evidence of what happened, that Putin was part of that campaign to destroy Trump as well. So he's like, okay, screw you then, Putin. If you're not going to play ball, you're a part of the Clintons, you're part of the Obama, you're part of the coup. You guys are an enemy and on all this. So let's see what happens if he blows the whole thing sky high. And I hope Carney goes down with that shit too, because I think the whole Liberal Party apparatus in Canada, speaking as a Canadian, is allied to those neo-Confederates in the US. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the fall of the Confederacy, who tried to rise again under the Democrats. It was the Democrats that tried to split America in the 1860s. It was the Democrats who had the KKK. It was the Democrats that ran Jim Crow laws. It's the Democrats who constantly divide and conquer. And finally, they're going to get their day. And it's the Republicans, just like Lincoln, this time Trump, reestablishing the Republic where it belonged in the first place.
Beautifully said, Blake. I mean, holy smokes, kids. If you're just joining us or you're new around here, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you give us thumbs up. We're working hard to crawl all over the X platform, get in the news itself. One of the great things I loved about the WikiLeaks back when that broke around 2020 with Julian Assange is it was the Democrats' own communications. That was one of the big wake-up things for me back when Trump wasn't on my radar or anything. But when the WikiLeaks kind of broke at around the same time that Trump was, going down the escalator, that everything kind of fell into place for me. And I started going here and going, what's going on with this Trump guy? And it woke me up. Now we're seeing it all over again, only again, it's their own documents. People go, oh, you get all your news from X. No, we're getting it from the Democratic National Convention's own documents. We've got their own writing, their own intelligence reports are just being declassified so we can look at them.
Yep.
You can see it with our own eyes.
What's going to be interesting, Mike Pence is now in there too. So he was all part of the soft coup as well. So he should go down as well.
Okay. Well, you know what's happening? You know what I see this? I see this as the linchpin. I see it starts, it's the door opening, a Fuller Brush, man. You got your foot in the door with Russia, Russia, Russia. Once this opens, like dominoes, everything's going to fall. The response to the disease thing that we had a few years ago, that is going to get covered. Everything is going to be out. Deals, the Ukraine, what's going on there? The disease itself from 4 years ago, that is going to come out. It's all going to come out, Blake, but it starts here. This is what gets it rolling. The FISA court, we're going to break open that. We're going to find out what happened with the FISA courts. And we're not talking the John Durham report. Now we're talking DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, who's going, a scorched earth on this stuff. No stone is being left unturned. It's all coming out, Blake. I think we have great confidence. Great confidence. Timing is everything. Trump could not have done this towards the end of his first term. It had to be now. And remember, we're just 6 months. We just passed the 6 months mark of a 4-year second term. Incredible. And boy, we sure pray for the ongoing safety protection, Lord, of Tulsi Gabbard and Donald Trump and those connected with his administration. People want them dead. And so we want them saved and we want them protected. So much going on. So much.
Well, do you think there'll be a Vance? I mean, once Trump's done, do you think there'll be a Vance Gabbard ticket?
I don't know. I mean, right now, Tulsi's rocketing up. Like, what do you mean, Vance Tulsi? Maybe Tulsi Vance right now, the way people.
Yeah. No, I don't know what the direction, but I know RFK Jr. They've been touting him as presidential material too, but he's no. He's still too left on a lot of stuff.
I tell you, if ever America's first president, right now, I cannot believe how happy I am with former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard. And a lot of people in Trump's administration is what makes it one of the great things. Trump, former Democrat, Robbie Kennedy Jr., former Democrat, Tulsi Gabbard, over and over and over. This really is a coalition of forces. Truth cannot be stopped. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing can stop what is coming. It is happening, man. It is.
Well, all we can say about Tulsi is mahalo.
Mahalo. Yeah, make America healthy again. Okay.
No, mahalo is thank you, Hawaiian.
Oh, mahalo. Okay. Malakawiki, huh? Okay. Okay. Now get this. The outrage never ends around here. We have some fun with it. Do this Biden hotline minors. I couldn't even believe what was going on with this. This will just make your head spin. This is the Biden showing what the former thing. It was just crazy. Tulsi does not want to get Pam Bondi's bad reputation. Bondi, don't write off Pam Bondi yet. Don't write her off is my recommendation. Hang tough. Can we talk about the reformation of John Fetterman? Just be careful with Fetterman, right? I don't trust the guy. He does some good stuff. He does some bad stuff.
Fetterman's got a lot of Republicans in his area.
He's got a lot of Republicans. He wants to hold his seat. So if he wants to survive in Pennsylvania, you got to appease some of your Republican voting base.
Well, all I'd have to say about Fetterman real quick is that I think if you're a Democrat, you guys should be looking as a reformation for your entire party because your party's so corrupt. I mean, just like the Republicans have been going through a reformation with MAGA. It's been completely starting with the original Tea Party, then to MAGA. It's cleaning house. It's been getting rid of the rhinos and the corrupt people out of there. It's time for the Dems to do the same thing. Maybe rally around Fetterman, say clean up the Democratic Party.
If it's even possible at this point.
Well, you got to get rid of Wasserman Schultz and some of these people that have been acting as agents of corruption inside.
He's linked.
Oh, yeah, but look at him. I mean, even the governor of California, I mean, it just goes on and on. Okay. Absolutely insane Wall Street Abe. So you got the clip, Sue. I had a clip on this. Is there a clip down there? Yeah, I want the clip played.
Biden administration.
Okay, go back. Sorry for talking.
So you're telling this committee that the Biden administration, while they were letting all of these unaccompanied minors into the country, and as we've talked about today, they weren't keeping track of them, they issued these kids a hotline that they could call if they had trouble with the sponsor family that they were put with. And you're saying that 65,000 calls to this hotline designated to protect these kids went unanswered? Is that what you're telling this committee?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So you're
okay. Wow. So this is for the illegals, right? They come in over the border, unaccompanied minors. They set up a hotline. To their credit, Joe Biden hotline, saving lives. And they set up a line for these little kids as they're put with foster families. This is Ben and Jerry. They're going to look after you, little child, little Billy. If you have any trouble at all, just push the emergency button on your helpline.
Yeah.
These guys are sickos. Help! Help! And so 65,000 calls were made.
Yeah.
Of all of the kids that came in, There were 65,000 calls that went unanswered. Nobody answered the calls for help of the children going, help, help. Unbelievable. Blake.
I mean, it's disgusting, actually. I mean, talk about abuse at a industrial scale. We talk about it in Canada about every child matters. I mean, what's happening here? Obviously, kids don't matter when it comes to this mass immigration that was done illegally, and children were being victimized by the cartels, by the people bringing them in, utilizing kids to sneak across the border and say, hey, yeah, this is my kid. And then as soon as they get across the border, boom, the kid's sent off to who knows where. But this is it's disgusting. I mean, I think, I think some millstones around someone's neck need to be done ASAP. Everybody who is involved in that should, really be put in general
We're
general
running out of
population prison.
millstones here. We need
Yeah.
more millstone.
Okay, well, I'm a miner, so I can give them lots of rocks.
Attaboy. All right, Blake, we got this story. This is kind of breaking over the last couple of days. Bombshell. Microsoft gave the Chinese Communist Party access to the U.S. military. Navy whistleblower Tom Schiller just dropped a national security nuke. Chinese engineers are granted access to classified U.S. military systems through Microsoft Azure for over a decade, for over 10 years. Laura Loomer, Charles confronted Bill Gates on camera demanding answers. Microsoft did not deny it. They just quietly changed the policy. This is not a leak. This is treason by technical infrastructure. What this means, the Chinese Communist Party had their hands in the heart of the U.S. defense system. Gates' empire sold out American sovereignty for profit and global positioning, and the Pentagon is only now reviewing the fallout. Who approved this? Why hasn't Microsoft been raided? This is espionage. Someone needs to go to jail. And then he's got to expose the traitors, protect the Republic. Let's play the clip. Bill Gates walking along.
Gates, would you like to condemn Microsoft's Azure program for leaking sensitive classified information to the CCP? Are you pro-CCP, Mr. Gates? I understand your foundation owns a lot of Microsoft shares now, and you're...
Okay, so it's the typical stuff, you catch a guy, it's guerrilla journalism, you catch a guy, you combat, and you go out and you go, look.
Well,
excuse me.
Ooh, bless you.
Thank you, I survived it. So Gates obviously doesn't want to talk about it, but this is serious stuff. Interesting, Blake, again, while the Dems are going Russia, 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 it seems increasingly that it was China. On both sides of the border, we got problems here, right here in River City.
It's globalism. It's globalism, 100%, 101. These are globalists. They don't believe in nationhood anymore. They believe in post-nation states. So these are globalists. They have an agenda to have a borderless control of the world. That's what they're looking for. Bill Gates is one of those guys. Bill Gates is also tied potentially, and I'll say allegedly, to the disease that shall not be named.
Yes.
And being part of all of that scheme. And I think he has profited from it. And he's also said some really bizarre crap where he calls people useless eaters and things like that. I mean, this is just like decreasing the useless population. That's right out of Scrooge, right? That's the kind of character. And I think people also see him as a major target under MAGA to clean up this corrupt class of billionaires, almost trillionaires in their corporate worth.
Well, we're seeing a lot of good coming in. Robert Kennedy Jr. coming with Make America Healthy Again.
Healthy.
Guys going out. Things are happening.
We got to go bigger. Good news stuff. I mean, when you see Trump's made a deal with Philippines, we're going
to cover that later.
Okay, I won't go in there. But I'm just saying that's the shit we need to go after China hard. China is the problem. China, being Canada, is a problem because we are not letting go in our corporate elite are not letting that go. It needs to be broken. I hope Trump breaks that chain in Canada so that we can be free of that crap as well. But there is a serious issue.
More good news on this front. Another update for you on our efforts to defend the homeland and protect American people from foreign intelligence agents. Yesterday, Zhang Guangdong, A Chinese national residing in California pled guilty to theft of trade secrets. He downloaded thousands of files related to technologies developed to detect, track, and evade nuclear, ballistic, hypersonic, and heat-seeking missiles that are critical for our U.S. military to protect the homeland. These files were worth hundreds of millions of dollars and countless research and development man-hours, according to the victim companies. China's government established, quote, talent programs with the purpose to identify and recruit science and technology experts to give China an advantage by transforming their economy, including its military capabilities. These programs are still a problem. Our investigation revealed Gong submitted numerous applications, traveled to China several occasions, secured talent program funding to develop sophisticated technology to support China's national defense, military, and aerospace efforts. Okay, so that's going to do enough of that story to give you a real sense of what's going on. Meanwhile, in Canada, and I don't have the link here, but I believe we just dropped the investigation into a Chinese spy operating out of Vancouver, British Columbia, right across the water from where Blake and I are, same province.
Yep.
Vancouver. And they dropped the charges against this Chinese citizen for espionage in Canada.
Drugs as well?
It was drugs. It's none of it was great.
It's all tied to the CP. I mean, they are 100% foreign influenced in Canada now. That's why so many people are disillusioned with Canada as Canadians, and we're supposed to be elbows up and practicing that we believe in our country when we have such a corrupt system that needs to be exposed. And I said, through all this investigation in the US, it's exposing Canada, which is good because those ties where these guys operate, they have a forward operating base right in Vancouver. As you said, they have a police station, for crying out loud, operating out of the Chinese embassy.
Yes. Now, look at compare and contrast, like two nations, America rocketing forward with America Fest under the incredible guidance, divinely inspired guidance of Donald John Trump. Meanwhile, in Canada, so we just had Dan Bongino posting, we got a guy with tied with Chairman Xi's talents program. In America, they're busting him, throwing away the key. What are we doing in Canada? Exclusive charges dropped against a Chinese scientist in Vancouver's Xi's a talents program. It's the very same thing, kind of synthetic drug pipeline.
Yeah, easy to handle.
Unbelievable.
Easy to handle. Quick call from Xi to Carney. Carney, we're going to increase your tariffs for Canadian goods.
Thank you very much, Mark.
You let that guy off, or else we're going to crank up the tariffs. And of course, Carney goes, sure, no problem. Here, have a fortune cookie with that.
Holy smokes, it's fired up. All right. Okay. So next one, let's have a total change of pace. It's so tense with the news that we're bringing. I know a lot of liberals are crying. They're fearful right now because Obama and his team of cronies, they're going to face justice finally. Holy smokes. And we can't even discuss on this platform what the possible penalty for treason might be. We'll find out one day. But anyway, let's listen to that tape. We got to roll this. This is fantastic. Do women skip? Asked Dr. Naomi Wolf, the famous, thing. Ultra Beauty just hired a bearded dude in a dress. Let's see what's going on with Ultra Beauty. Okay, let's play the clip.
Julian here is now at Ulta, and I'm here to see the display for the first time, you guys. Hi, honey. What's your name? Paulina. Nice to meet you, Paulina. Hi. Nice to meet you. What's your name, honey? Nice to meet you. We're gonna see what Julian hair looks like at Ulta for the first time. It's gonna be Ulta fun. Okay, let's see it.
All right, functionally retarded, clearly. Blake, your response to that, does that make your wife, do you think you're the Mrs. McKenzie is going to be rushing out to the Ultra Beauty line to get herself a beard? You've got to find beard yourself, Blake, I might add.
My gut feeling, that guy's fake as hell. That's an actor. That's an actor. An actor. Yes.
Are you kidding me? What? Holy smokes. That is just something. And bottom line, the serious part on this is truly, this is what it is. It's anti-woman. These are female beauty products. If you want to do the gay thing, get a whole bunch of gay people together and then gay it up. No problem. But when you've got, quote, a woman's line of products, then I don't think you want to have, the bearded guys going in trying to hawk the product, right? And it's the same idea as, it's the erasure of women. The whole idea with sports, women in sport, it's all under that same rubric. Go ahead, Blake.
Well, there's that guy in Vancouver that's been in and out of court because he goes to get women's scaping done, and he ends up doing it for sexual. What's his name? And he's been in and out of court, and it's a beauty. He's using it. It's really for women, but he's going in there. He still has his male parts.
He's getting his
or she's male parts
scrubbed and shaved. You have to lift the scrotum, and it is absolutely science.
And apparently he gets excited. So that's probably the problem.
Isn't it Jessica or Jennifer?
Jessica is something. Yanni or Yana. Yanov. Yeah.
Jessica.
And he's super. She. I'm not sure what he is. He's
Yanov.
Depends on what he wants. He's pretty violent. He's attacked that Drea Humphreys a few times. He's gone after her. Who's from Rebel News, but yeah, he's a piece of work. But anyways, he does what that guy does. He goes into women's kind of spas and nails and scaping. Yeah, there he is. Isn't he gorgeous?
Okay, this actually had to go to a tribunal.
Yeah.
This is from our venerable friends over at Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Estheticians don't have to wax male genitalia against their will. Holy, so a transgender woman loses complaint against aesthetics who refused their service. I'm sorry. As a gal, I just can't see myself getting near your balls, Jasmine. Your giant hairy balls. Hey, how you doing, Dusty? Good to see you here. It's the Political Mirror with your host, Rachel's Ghost, and, of course, my good friend, Blake McKenzie, bringing you the kind of news that nobody else wants to cover, and for damn good reason. Holy smoke.
Terrifying.
All right. What else we got here? Let's do this one. Let's do nonprofit groceries. I want to skip down. This is another... This thing is kind of like color, like Paul Joseph Watson goes, imagine my shock, when he's so, come on. Am I surprised? Yeah. Are we surprised?
Well, the Democrat candidate for New York is campaigning on city paid for grocery stores.
Okay. Yeah, right. That's the little commie, the Muslim guy.
Yeah. Muslim Marxist.
Well, let's see how it's doing in Kentucky. We got a grocery store in Kentucky doing this thing. Got the clip of it. Okay, shaving your balls can be dangerous when done alone. All right. Thank you, Dusty. We love you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everything here is going exactly as you would predict. A breaking, quote, city-funded grocery store trial in Kansas City has already failed. The shelves are completely empty. Roll the clip. The food's rotten. Theft.
It's clear this Sunfresh at 31st and Prospect is struggling. This is the first section people see when they come in. There's barely any produce. A lot of the coolers and shelves around the store look the same way, empty. So shoppers have been asking us, if the store isn't closing, then where is all the food? A rotten smell comes through the door, and anywhere you turn, you'll see products that need to be restocked. No hot food or deli.
I watch people walk in and walk out.
The grocery store has received financial assistance from the city, but has been unable to keep those shelves stocked in an area that in the past has often been referred to as a food desert.
Around here.
Okay, the food
desert. Is that a government-run store or government-subsidized store?
It's a government subsidized thing.
Yeah, I think old New York boy there wants to actually government-owned outright. So he's a full-on commie. We saw how well that worked.
Yeah, well,
food lineups in Poland, and back in the day, there'd be like 100,000 people lining up to get bread, for crying out loud. It was ridiculous.
I love this. This is intimate. It's romantic, and it's got all the drama-laden encounters that one might expect from feminists. The female eunuch, Germaine Greer. Feminism went sideways when they ostracized Germaine Greer. I once shared an elevator with the lovely lady in Manchester, England. She was a woman and I was a man. We went down. Make of that what you will. Make of that. In the lift, You weren't in an elevator. You're in England. It would have been a lift. That socialism is making me kind of hungry, says David. And Kimba goes, what you're looking at there is a giant food bank.
Yeah,
Well,
agreed.
I mean, it's just awful. It's just
Well,
crazy.
and the theft in some of these areas are so bad that people just walk in and walk. They were told just take what you want, or like in California where they decriminalized theft under $1,000, so you can just walk in and steal whatever you want and walk out the door.
Yeah.
Okay, next one up I've got down as carbon passports. That old chestnut is back in the news. We'll discuss it. This one is about 5 or 4 down from the top. So, yes, that's right. I'm Mancunian friend. Yeah. Hey, I'm just going to go in the lift and see if I can see Jermaine. I believe she's in there, and I want to go down with the lady.
So would technically 100 or 120 story building be the Mile High Club?
Passports. Right under bearded woman.
Yeah.
Bearded woman. 500 drachma for the bearded woman. All right, I'm having a good time. You having a good time, Blake?
Yeah, this is good.
That's fun. I mean, this is amazing. The big story, of course.
It's big day. It's like Christmas, kind of.
It's coming. Boy, oh boy, we've been long suffering, waiting for justice to come.
I want to see that bleed across the border now. Let's clean it all up. Let's get rid of all the corruption.
I am so with you. Now, this is just crazy. Okay, we're not even going to do the first comment. Yukon Struck. We're just going to go. Brits could be banned from going on holiday as carbon passports are. They're thinking. It's not that they are right now, but the article should read that they're thinking of introducing them. So the idea, this is all part of the idea that you'll own nothing. You're going to be traveling around. In order to save the planet, traveling is not a good idea.
Yep.
So
unless you're an elite, you can fly your Lear jets.
Then you can go. But if you're just, Joe or Jane Schmo average, there's no way. You're just not good for the planet.
Maybe you'll have enough on your carbon little passport to take a little trip to Blackpool.
Yeah.
And that's it for the year. You're done.
Yeah, you're down to Blackpool.
Wherever you can ride your bike for a day. As far as your bike can get you. You got to pedal away.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
15 minutes.
Do you know that some of these, agenda, they call it Agenda 20, Agenda 2030, that some of these proposals indicate like we want massive swath of natural forest land that no human can inhabit. You're not allowed to go in there. You can't even look at it.
Why they called that in the 1990s a Yellowstone to Yukon or Yukon to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Where they wanted a swath of human-free zone all the way from the Yukon to Yellowstone. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And you know what's scary is I see that firsthand because I was up in there, how these areas have been depleted of people, and there's so much land you could develop. Everyone's complaining about housing and places for food. I mean, you could grow food, you could do it's emptying out. It's really horrible to see.
All right, we got another story. We're going to take a look in on Pierre Poilievre because the number of candidates that are running in this runoff election they're doing. Okay, Blake, can you set the stage for this? Tell them what's going on. Why is Poilievre even running? I thought he lost in the election. He lost. What's going on with all this?
Well, again, understanding Canadian political systems on how you get elected, it is by the number of MPs you elect converts into the government. If you have the majority or a minority, but propped up by another political party to get you over to the majority number, you get to form government with that MP. So it's not like the US where your executive branch is separate from your legislative branch. They are one and the same. Sorry.
That's public service announcement.
That's it. We're sponsored by Shaving Your Balls. Anyways, so Poilievre, during this last election we had in April, there was a massive campaign to oust him. And this should be much like a conspiracy theory that the Liberals have been orchestrating this. But in his Carleton riding, they ran something like 200 candidates, making it, they call it the longest ballot initiative. It's basically to disrupt the candidates
It's
in the
political
election there.
interference. There's no
So
other way to put it. It's
what
political
happened
interference.
is he lost his riding in Carleton, which is part of Ottawa. He's actually a Westerner, but he was living in there and he ran locally, which is crazy. Why would you run in Ottawa? It's all government workers are going to vote against you, but somehow he was getting in. But the point is that he lost his seat, even though the Conservatives increased their vote, but he lost his seat. So one of the Conservatives, the most conservative riding in Canada, in Alberta, said, well, I'll step down, force a by-election so that our leader, he's the leader of the Conservatives, can get back into the Parliament and to lead the Conservatives there. So we're in a by-election. So he's technically a parachute candidate. So he's dropped in there. He's running for Crowfoot, I think it's something Crowfoot. Anyways, in Alberta, and it's going to be a lock. But here are these people showing up. They don't do it to anyone else. They don't do it to the Liberal Party. They don't do it to the NDP. They don't do it to any other political parties and their leadership. They're going after the Conservative, which says to me this is being orchestrated by, allegedly, the Liberal Party of Canada.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's their apparatus that's freaking doing this.
We
So
already know 3 of the names are linked with federal and provincial parties already, like that are antagonistic towards the Conservative
Well, here's the problem, and I don't like this parachute candidate kind of stuff. I have a big problem with it, but that's what's happening. So they're trying to get it to like 200 names. And just picture this, folks. If you go to vote in that area and you physically vote, it's literally a multi-sheet page that they have to print with 100. Right now, I think there's currently about 150 names. It'll be like 200 all the way at the end.
Okay.
100, there you go, nearly 200.
Okay, breaking 187 candidates have confirmed in the by-election. Battle River, Crowfoot, Alberta by-election. 180, there's the list that Blake's talking about. Find your candidate, next marks the spot. Somewhere in there is the former, it's, the head of the Conservative Party of Canada trying to get in, to win this election. There's the character himself. He's up against Zhu Tinajiru. That looks like a winner. Yablonsky. Jordan Wong, not the Wongs. Don't fuck with the Wongs.
I wonder if there's some CCP influence in there too.
It was one of our guys also did a video, and he actually showed the camera. He got his camera to scroll the names. It was quite impressive. It was one of the accounts I follow kind of regularly down there.
But I think there's an answer to this, and it's all across Canada right now. How do we deal with these people? Very simple. You need to stop parachuting candidates anywhere. You have to live in the riding, own a property, or rent in the riding. You have to live there to run, period. This whole idea, we have this problem at very local municipal levels as well. Mayors and council people who just basically get handpicked, dropped in to run because they're part of, usually in some of our areas, they're far left lunatics, get popped into Victoria. The Victoria City Mayor of Victoria, British Columbia, is from Saanich, lives in Saanich. The mayor of Langford lives in Saanich, not Langford. We see this time and time again where these politicians just kind of drop in and say, I'm going to run here because, again, Elizabeth May was another one. She's a leader of the Green Party. She was from Halifax, dropped into BC, said, oh, that's when we can get a bunch of green lunatics to support me. And sure enough, they still keep voting for her. She's a lunatic, but she's out here.
He's an alleged lunatic.
Okay, She likes to bend her elbow a fair bit.
He's an alleged hardcore alcoholic. All right.
Almost like Tequila Sheila, they used to call. What's her name?
To keep things going along, Sheila Koffs. To keep things moving along, we got another crazy story. This time we're turning our lens. Blake, we don't restrict ourselves, America, Canada, England. Hell no. We're going all the way to France for our next story. Breaking. France, President Emmanuel Macron has sued Candace Owens over claims that France's first lady was born a man. Does he even have a case?
Okay, I gotta go into the comments.
Maybe she should go for a one of those services in Vancouver. Can tell us.
Okay, somebody goes, didn't we already try this on Loose Telegraph? Woman to claim Brigitte was a man who cleared a defamation. Here, okay. Brigitte, background question. I've said it for years. Just send an undercover agent one of those glitzy EU state dinners dressed as a waiter, and you find out pretty quick. Okay. He has no standing in American court. This kid just wants to know what's going on. Loves popcorn. I'm all in. Let's go for it. Fuck Candace Owens. She's a Democrat all day long. Yeah, some people don't like her. And this is it, a simple DNA test. That was my comment as well. DNA would tell you really quick. So, Candace, all you need to do is have it closely monitored from, spit in there to, going into the lab, shake it around, observe it, make sure it's well documented. And you'd find out really quick in record time if Brigitte is in fact oh, by the way, this is my new prop. I got a cane here. My right knee's a little buggered. So I'm just saying, look at this, Blake. This is, you could just ponder. As we're doing the show, could Brigitte be a fella? I don't know. Just ponder.
Well, maybe do the Obama thing. Where's her birth certificate? Let's have a look. Produce the birth certificate.
Holy smoke. Well, we know how that went out. And believe you me, Blake, we're going to get more. That you haven't heard the last of Obama's birth certificate.
Oh, yeah. So that's actually a side question.
Yes.
You're not allowed to be a president if you're not natural born.
By the time we're finished with him, Obama's going to be claiming Kenyan citizenship to avoid treason charges.
Get the clip where he says he's from Kenya.
Okay, well, you can do it, but my God.
But
yeah,
still,
you can just do the thing.
It's crazy. But again, on Macron's wife, I mean, they really need to take a look into that. I mean, he's completely, obviously, he gets abused by her or him pretty good. We've seen this slap heard around the world.
Yes.
Apparently that's a lot more often than when you're hearing from stories from the inside that he gets slapped quite often, but more like an abusive mother or father. I don't know what you want to
okay. This is from Stealth XRP goes, Obama just let it slip again that he's from Kenya. Obama, I'm the first American sitting president for Kenya. Well, play the clip. We'll see if there's what's he doing here.
3 years ago, I visited Kenya as the first sitting American president to come from Kenya.
All right, so he's the first sitting president come from Kenya. Make of that what you will.
He could be just referring like my roots are from Kenya.
Yeah, so. Exactly right. But it's fun to play with. It's the same thing as my Michael. My Michael. He's talking about Big Mike. Michelle, and he's going to be, my Michael, my Michael. Okay, I got Libs of TikTok. What did I do to Libs of TikTok for? So it's right under ordered by Obama.
FAFO.
Fuck around, find out. Let's do it. Let's see what's going on with that. Is that ready for prime time? Holy smokes, just as sheer excitement. I've got my cane prop.
Or I can lean on my mic.
Yeah. Okay. The way I figure it, it's just a great prop. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we got here. You never know what. This is a beautiful story, Blake. Breaking. Alpidio Reda, the man wanted for throwing rocks at federal agents and their vehicles during the LA riots, has been arrested at the U.S. border. A border agent who arrested him was inside one of the vehicles attacked during the LA riot. Fuck around and find out. And can we roll the tape? Oh, sure. We got a couple of tapes. Let's play the tape. Let's see what's going on with this young buck.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, let's say 20. Uh-oh. Oh, there he is now. It's that idiot. Holy smoke. Let that be a lesson to you, Herc. Fuck around, find out. You come after the ICE. You criminals, expect judgment. Go ahead, like justice.
Well, and to all the lefties out there who are saying ICE is so evil, I'm sorry. You've read stories and news stories of people throwing rocks off of bridges, onto vehicles below and overpasses, killing people.
Correct.
So I actually think ICE is being very polite, because I'm sorry, that's an endangering my life scenario. I should be able to draw my arm and defend myself with extreme prejudice when somebody's throwing a rock to kill me. That's not just doing damage. That rock went through a windshield at that speed, that would kill somebody. They die. We've seen it time and time again from reckless vandals doing that, who end up becoming murderers. So this bullshit kind of being allowed to just throw stuff and cause extreme violence. But there, we've now showing it more and more evidence, yet the media tells us otherwise. These are, they're still running to most part that these are mostly peaceful protests. Cut the bullshit. They're the most violent groups of people, from Antifa to it's Antifa. It's the same freaking guys.
Yeah.
It's all part of the same group. The burning cars, beating people in the streets, pushing old ladies over. These guys are so maybe it's time for ICE to draw their arms and defend themselves. That's what I would say.
Well, that's what basically they got the go-ahead already from DOJ. They said go after them and go after these criminals.
Well, good, they're arresting them. That's something.
Okay, we're looking at some stupid funny money. This is Canada. A study has found that Canadian families have spent more on taxes than their basic needs in 2024. There are graphs going up on this. I've seen some statistics going up. The amount of the percentage of our income that's dedicated to paying taxes. In some brackets, it's going up to 50%. Over 50% of your income is going to pay for taxes. It's criminal. It shows a failed economy. It shows a failed country by anyone's metric, that where half your income is going back in the form of taxes to a government that seems to want to put it all down on gender reassignment surgery in the Philippines or some bloody thing. It's just nuts. Blake, take it away.
Yeah, Canada's in free fall. This is like you said earlier today. It's like a tale of two cities. One is going up, one's going down. America's rising. Canada's become completely unaffordable for anybody trying to get ahead. You can't build a business here easily. It's probably, as they say, if you can make it in Canada, you can make it anywhere. And I hate to say it, but the fact, by the way, there is a media story if you want to look at, they're trying to say on the Western Standard that there's only 2 million immigrants left. Well, how did the other 3 million just disappear? Their visas were expiring.
Yeah.
We can't afford to live with the mass immigration who are not productive. A big chunk of them are not productive. They're living off the system. And yet the local citizens are expected to see rising costs, rising rent on all fronts, food, everything has been rising well before any tariff talks with the U.S. So let's not blame Trump, which the Canadian media, Canadian government, and left-wing provincial premiers are all trying to point to Trump. It's like, no, this was happening, building up for years, over year after year. You can see those graphs as Canada is now at the bottom of the G7 pack.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, Canada is worse than the 50th worst state in the U.S. for GDP. But we're behind for sorry, not GDP, but for I think it's sorry.
Take your time.
Yeah, no, it basically we're behind Mississippi when it comes to your personal wealth that you're able to keep. So if we're the 51st state, we would actually be 51st state in economic condition as well. So it would
this is because again we talk about the Laurentian elites. All the elites in Canada are just scraping the cream off the top. And we're left with whatever's left over.
Well, that's a monopoly of Canada. It's a monopoly, and it's an oligarchy, all managed in one. So the political system machine is there to make people wealthy. Hudson's Bay Company style company.
Trade deals. We got to do trade deals.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking now. There's one in between after carbon passports and we got that story too. There's so many stories. Well, we're just going to do the trade deals first of all. Trump just knocking out. We're going to play this clip, but I'll read the kind of the little bit of text, and we'll do it. Breaking: Trump scores a trade deal hat trick, and then I'll let you talk about the Philippines, Blake. But I want to play a clip. Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, all signing on. Play the clip.
Fox News alert: another bad day to be a panicking. Trump scored a hat trick. He crossed 3 countries off his tariff hit list. You ready? First, it was the Philippines and Indonesia, the magic number 19% for both countries. And then the big one, the Japanese. $550 billion invested here and thousands of jobs created. And they'll be paying a 15% rate. Turns out Toyota tariffs work.
I just signed the largest trade deal in history. I think maybe the largest deal in history with Japan. And that was done with Japan. They had their top people here, and we worked on it long and hard, and it's a great deal for everybody. I always say it has to be great for everybody. It's a great deal. A lot different from the deals in the past, I can tell you that. But we're doing really well as a country. We're strong. We have a lot of money flowing in.
Fox News alert, another bad day.
All right, super great news on that front. The tariffs are working. We're trying to tell all the naysayers, all the quote panicing's a bad day for you. The markets are up. Win, win, win. America's winning on every front, and now we're winning with this war with Obama and the coup and the Russia gate and all the rest of it. Is we're just winning on so many fronts. ICE, we got the guy throwing the rocks through the car window. That's a victory. We just seem to be winning at every turn right now. Blake, these are happy times. Tell us about the Philippines. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, and the Philippines was the other one that was announced yesterday, and that President Marcos, I think he must be junior because I'm not sure which one it is because the old Marcos.
He's gone. Away. Yeah, he died years ago.
And anyways, the deal is that, take note, Canada, Philippines said wide open trade, no barriers for trading back and forth, except for there would be a 19%. They agreed to a 19% tariff to the United States, but wide open trade back and forth, no restrictions, no monopolies, no bullshit like Canada. So Canada, take note. And the reason why 19% may sound like a lot, it's not a lot when your currency is not worth very much. So remember that the currency conversion, they're still going to be making big money. And Philippines is going to do well. America will be able to sell products and services into the Philippines. They already do a lot of that trade already. This is just going to make it wide open. Canada, do the same. We have a 30-cent different dollar right now. We could handle probably a 10% tariff and still be on an equal footing play. Just get rid of the damn monopolies, Canada. Play ball. Quit protecting your Laurentian elite billionaire class of Canada, total power, total control, so that the rest of Canadians suffer. Because if you don't, we will become part of the U.S. piece by piece. Alberta, Saskatchewan will break away from you. You'll be left alone to rot. So either start to trade wide open and be like the Philippines and learn from them, because we would do a lot better. You won't see $1 trillion in investment leaving Canada for the U.S.
Has Canada got a deal with the U.S. on the table, Blake?
No, not yet.
So we're up the creek now.
35% tariff increases by August 1st.
August 1st is the due date for this. Here's the other thing, Blake. What do you think? How do you anticipate this going? Do you think we're going to become? We asked this question, a couple of months ago when we started this little show of ours. Do you think Canada is destined to become the 51st state? At this point, I can't see it not becoming that. We're just getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed through economic force.
There's too many. Canada won't go collectively. It will break apart in pieces. It's the only way it will happen, because the Laurentian elite control Quebec and Ontario. It's going to be the West. It's going to come from the West. That's when it's going to happen. And it's going to be Alberta. It's going to be Saskatchewan. It's going to be that threat. And once the Laurentian elite learn that they're no longer stranglehold on Canada, is going to be able to continue to portray this lie through their propagandist media organizations. It's falling apart in front of everyone's face. We can see it. We can see it in our wallets. We can see what's happening in property. We see with this stupid carbon tax crap. They want to bring it back. They're saying it was a pause. People say, oh, no, they dropped the carbon tax. No, they didn't. They said they paused it. Listen to the language. Language matters.
Yeah.
Pause means bringing it back. Carbon Carney is 100% a Euro EU type guy, though I do believe he's going to have no choice. He's got 93% of his investments in the U.S. He knows where the money's being made. That's what's going to happen. I think Carney's got no choice. He's so exposed, but the Canadian media keeps protecting him. Any other time, he would have been destroyed. I don't think they'll throw him out. I think they're going to negotiate the transition. It's going to take a couple years because there's a lot of elbows up chickens running around Canada right now, and to get them to buy in, it's not going to happen overnight. It's got to be done in bits and pieces.
And then you've got to wonder about the very nature. What is Canada if Alberta, say, just even taking Alberta out of Canada, then British Columbia is suddenly separated from the rest of Canada?
Yeah.
Like, maybe we could go up through the Yukon. I guess that would be.
Well, no, the Yukon will go to Alaska. It'll go quick because it's all miners up there, and they don't want the federal government anymore. They go, we'll go with Alberta, or we'll go with Alaska.
But don't they tend in the north? Don't they traditionally kind of go NDP? They're kind of, they're a lot of First Nations.
Well, there's a lot of money federally that pumps in there to keep. Let's face it, a lot of those places live off subsidies. They don't survive on their own. Northwest Territories or Nunavut, all those areas don't survive off their own money. They have to get money from the federal government. Once that's cut off, they're in trouble. So they got to go somewhere. So that you can't have, you don't get access to Pacific ports. If Alberta's in the way, it means the entire rail system is now blocked to going. Alberta would stand there and say, you got to pay a tariff to come through Alberta if you're not going to allow us to have a pipeline to Pacific. But then America will go, yeah, just run it down XL and whip it out towards Washington State, and away she goes.
And we mirror America so much that all our liberal heroes are all kind of concentrated in the city centers. British Columbia, for its part, is largely Conservative Party affiliated.
The interior.
As shown in the last election, you got Vancouver Island, which is it's almost like God, tipped
capital
the
cities.
All the nuts went out here.
It's the boomer retirees from back east. They're all here. They're all ex-government.
And government,
workers.
we got so much government, the seat of government here. So you got a lot of government employees that are invested. All they care about is getting their big, well, at least I got my, big paycheck. Sucks to be you in the private sector.
Well, and I think that's I kind of look at is like I saw somebody draw a map and it showed Vancouver, Victoria, and a little bit of Vancouver Island as holdouts, while the rest of the province would move with Alberta. Would just say, you know what, EB, bye-bye. We're going
Holy
with Alberta.
Shit, Blake, I would be off this fucking island so quick. If that went down, I'd be out.
I don't think it would happen, because what would happen is I think either Washington State would envelop, say, come with us, then you're bluey kind of people anyways. You'll love us. You'll love Seattle.
Yeah. So
but even the progressive, put it this way, Americans, the progressives in Seattle are right wing to our progressives. Our progressives are freaking lunatics.
Oh, I know.
They are lunatics.
We got lunatics. I know a lot of them. I have a lot of friends in Seattle. I love them all, but they're hardcore lefties.
Yeah, but they still like their capitalism because they go to the stores and they buy their Starbucks. They go to all their, they love buy their records and make music and do all that kind of stuff. Hey, they love the ability to have access to capitalism. But the ones here are outright Marxists. They want state control.
Yeah, we're pretty commie. We're Antifa central up here, I guess.
But I want to make it clear, just because there's going to be Canadians that are listening saying, "Oh, you guys just hate Canada." No, I don't hate Canada. Canada. I'm going to say an old adage that a lot of politicians say. Canada. I love Canada, but Canada left me. Right? They're the divorcee. They're the ones that have left. Right, and done their own thing. They're no longer Canada that I remember. I would love to see a strong Canada, a national Canada that would be a partner with the U.S. with our own rights and property rights, just like you have in the U.S., and still be an independent country if we could hold up to the same standard. But America, you're blowing us out of the water right now, and we've decided with our leadership to have a divide where you have these crazies taking over and saying, no, we want to maintain power at all costs, even if it means we have to eat our own. That's how bad these people are. They'll the socialists, the champagne socialists, the monopolists, they will destroy their own before they'll let go. It's much like Baghdad. Remember Baghdad Bob?
Yeah.
From,
the propaganda.
Everything's good. We're going to make a stand here. The Americans, we got them to retreat. Meanwhile, Americans are just swarming and helicopters around them, bombs going off. Well, that's Canada right now. That's a Canadian government. That's a Canadian. They'll keep lying to people that things are fine, things are great, because those people are saying that are paid to do it.
Yes.
And they are not there. We're putting people, we want to put people like Tamara Leach in prison for 7 years. Yet we're letting Antifa people and Palestinians, protesters who are not even really Palestinian, most of them, they're just rabble rousers, burning things down, destroying flags. They were tearing down statues. Not one of them have gone to prison. And yet we had peaceful protests against the mandates. And those people got to go to jail for longer than those immigrants that murdered somebody on the street driving drunk, got 3 years, and that's it? And they want to put these people in jail? No, we've got a problem, Canada. And I like what Trump did to UK, where he said, if you start tackling, or Vance came out on behalf of Trump, said, if you keep putting people away for free speech and that stuff, then we're going to cut you off. Canada, take note. I think Trump's got you in the crosshairs because he knows what you guys were. You guys were an apparatus controlled by the Democratic Party, by the globalists, to act as an agent to help destroy his presidency in 2016. You guys have been part of it. We saw it. We saw your conventions having Hillary Clinton here, and you've had Barack Obama. You guys gave cheers when Barack was here. So if Trump comes to speak in Parliament as an official presidential emissary from the U.S. to speak, like we've allowed other Democrat presidents speak. I think the last president we had speak that was a Republican, I think, may have been Reagan.
It's been a while.
Free trade. But you know what would happen? Walkouts, protests from all the far left lunatics in there. We need to change. We got to do it now. If we want to keep our nation, we got to follow the same footsteps of the U.S. If not, we might as well join the U.S. That's the choices you have.
Okay, and I came out, a guy named John Paul Berg over on the X platform created a kind of this, he put an Alexander Solzhenitsyn quote up, and then I just Canadianized it a bit by dropping the maple leaf in it. But this is what I created with the maple leaf on it. A communist system can be recognized by the fact that it spares the criminals. We just saw the Chinese guy get off in Vancouver, and criminalizes the political opponent. We got Tamara Leach for a mischief trial facing 7 years in prison, Chris Barber 8 years in prison. And, and for what? All because they had horns honking, bothering people. This was the big problem, that people were honking their horn.
No statues torn down, no people beaten up, no cars burnt.
Just some horn honking.
Not bending knees. Our prime minister bending a knee to these radicals that were doing that in the streets. Nothing. But that's a great quote. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's what's happening here in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Blake McKenzie for being with me again. We are going to be back tomorrow. Do we get you tomorrow, Blake? I know you've been very busy.
I'm here.
12 noon tomorrow. We'll be back. Barack Obama, you're in trouble. Justice coming. Nothing could stop what is coming. Nothing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like and thumbs up and subscribe.